This is a video tutorial for Chemistry in Today's Society II for the school board report regarding the amount of sugar in soda. So the first thing you need to do to access the rubric report is log into Blackboard, click on Course Documents, Activity Solutions and Sample Test Questions, and then scroll down to 8C and you'll see the Great Soda Sellout PDF, which looks like this in Chem Matters, and the school board report lab rubric. So if you open that up, you get this document. And the first thing that you need to keep in mind is that you will submit one lab report for your whole group. So this document needs to be attached to that report, and you need to have all the names of your group members clearly written out here. So you really want to think about this assignment as a real report that you're submitting to a district school board. So you want to think about it as a real-life situation and put your best effort in creating this report as a team. So you want to carefully follow the directions that are on the following pages to make sure you get the most amount of points. You'll see here that there's 5 sections, each worth 10 points for a total of 50. So again, you need to print this out prior to class. You can't print it out right before class starts. And you need to staple it to the top of your report. So here's a bit about formatting. You want to use 10 to 12 point Arial or Times font, double spaced, have 1-inch margins. So I suggest that if you have 4 people in your group, your whole group can work on the data and results section together in class, and then each person can take one of the sections and write it independently, and then you can come together and just kind of finalize it before you print it out. If you have 3 people in your group, I suggest that everyone works on data and results together, and you can probably all work on the introduction to the problem together, and then the remaining sections will be split among the 3 people. So I highly suggest that you meet as a group, or at least send several emails back and forth before the report is due, so that everyone can read through the entire report and make sure that everyone is satisfied with the work, because this grade will be for your whole group, so you want to make sure that your name is on something decent. Okay, so let's go through each section in a little bit more detail. So each section needs to have a heading, so here, like the issue of soda in schools for the introduction, and it gives a little bit of description of what you need to include. You need to include each bullet point here in each section in order to get the maximum amount of points. So in the introduction, you can use the Great Soda Sellout from the PDF Chem Matters, but you also need a couple of other, 2 other articles to add to this section. So it says include a bibliography in MLA format. So if you forgot how to do MLA format, you can just go to Google and you can Google Purdue OWL MLA. And the first one that pops up should be this, owl.englishpurdue.edu. And they just have a great resource here with MLA formatting and every kind of different, book, periodical. And if you click on electronic sources, that will bring you to this page, MLA Works Cited Electronic Sources, and they have everything from full websites to a page on a website to an image. So everything you need is right there. So again, just Google OWL Purdue MLA. Okay, back to the rubric. So like I said, you need to include all of these bullet points. It says you must address all of these, and so there are different questions, and you can obviously work together as a group to try to answer these, but as I said before, it might be easier if you kind of split it up. So for the data and results section, one thing I wanted to mention is that the table of class data will be available on Blackboard. I'll put it in the same folder where you can find this rubric. And also you need to include a copy of the calibration curve that you made with the class data. I highly suggest that you use Excel for this so that you can calculate the line of best fit. It'll just be easier to print out and include with your report. For supporting calculations, one thing I wanted to note here is that we're calculating it for a 20-ounce bottle of soda, which has 600 mils of soda. We're not calculating it for a 2-liter bottle of soda, which we used in class. The other thing is that at the end here it says provide some brief discussion and explanation in support of your calculations. This has to be a little bit more substantial than just 2 sentences, so you need to put a little bit more effort into this. The last section is conclusion. So this is really the heart of the lab, where you have to tell the school board if they should ban soda or not. So this is probably a half to 1 page, but you really want to be clear about what your findings are and support it with evidence. So you have to remember that you're trying to convince the school board, so you have to think about what their perspective is as you're writing this. So, best of luck with writing. If you have any questions, you can contact one of the TAs or John, and we look forward to reading your reports. See you in class.